Hello everyone, this is the Ninja DC joining in from the Reactor video. This time for MLP Season 9, Episode 22. The second to last of the normal episodes.
Yay, second! Oh.
Everything is over. Everything is all over.
It's only the start of the end.
Joining me again through random Skype order, Day Lover.
Hey everybody, Dale over here. Can't wait to see this episode. I heard great things, but yeah, we'll just wait and see. Whee! Next.
Next up, I heard of Bronies.
Hello, you ponies. I'm a herd of bronies. Welcome to Let's Watch MLP's final season. It's the last CMC episode of the series.
Yay!
Oh my god! I thought we had the last CMC episode.
Yeah, I thought that too, but yeah, that was what I heard about this as well.
That was a
Debated.
misleading title. That was a misleading title.
Yeah.
As it turns out.
As it turns out. It wasn't the last crusade yet.
Alright, next up, second.
Gallop boldly forward, men, for they can take our ponies, they can take our show, but they can't unmake us bronies. Go forth, watch valiantly, review hard, and we shall end with a bang.
For Frodo.
Yeah, for
Let's do this.
Alright, and next up, Carlos.
Good Metal Gator operative here. I'm here discussing the finer details of series I've seen. Let me just tell you, animation is looking great. Animation is looking fine. Final episodes of series I've been watching for decades now. And 2020 is going to be the big turning point of what sort of stuff I'm going to be watching, very much obligatory and such. So I hope this is going to be a good finale. Because all good things must come to an end.
Aww.
Oh, and the ponies are around too.
Then this just the beginning.
Alright, with that said, are you all ready to watch the MLP?
Yay! Yes.
Yeah.
Alright, everyone ready? Alright. Carlos, you ready?
Gator! Come back!
Yes,
Oh.
yes.
Alright, everyone press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Oh, yes.
Wow. That was a very basic episode. Not even much to even bring up. Just only have continuity nods to previous episodes in the later seasons. Like season 8 continuity. Like the End and Friend and the Kieran episode.
Oh yeah, the Kieran episode. Yeah, that was nice.
So I could hear Second ranting a lot in the background, so I'm assuming it was a pretty bad episode.
Yeah, for
Well,
him.
let me put it this way. You know how I was saying with the last Crusader episode, that's how they have to go out, just one more time. The Crusaders are so special diddly eshel, and also here's some parents for fan service.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, me and my big grown-up mouth. Could have been Ed Valentine making Cart Before the Ponies 2.0.
God.
Okay.
Oh my god. Second is me right now.
Yeah.
Yet the Crusaders, what do they have to learn about growing up in their last episode? That it is a big responsibility, and they aren't ready yet. And, what do you mean, payoff to character, what's it called? Who cares about character? Where's my paycheck?
Alright,
Because I'm someone who is specially trained to know how morals for kids work, not because I am a freelance writer who is going to get paid whether this goes through or not all that well.
All right, I just want to point, if I'm chuckling in the background, I'm just because I'm going through the tornado sequence in slow-mo, and you can just see that like sheep like go round and around and look horrified the whole time.
Did you find Dorothy?
Oh yeah, that's Dorothy. But it's funny if you just watch sheep like just throughout the background, whenever it's shown in the background, the sheep goes back and forth.
Yeah, and then
it just goes round and around. It's hilarious.
It's from the other tornado movie. I forgot what it's called, but it's nice. The cow is. Oh yeah. And whose turn is it? Alex needed to go, so I guess him first, right? What? Hello?
Like, I think a lot of people are muted right now.
Okay.
No.
Well,
you can go. You can go. You can go first.
Oh, okay. I actually thought it was okay. I think I like the moral, even though it was hammered in our skulls a couple of times. But it's definitely better than last time. The only thing I don't like about this is now we're going to get fan art of the CMCs as grown-ups, and especially Abel Bloom being entangled in the vines and stuff like that. I can only imagine what's going to happen with that one. Also, I actually thought it was a pretty funny episode, and I really did like the what was it, the part where they actually changed and they went to the fair and everything was going good, because I was like, okay, something is bound to happen now and everything is going to go haywire, but I actually thought they were going to go the direction of them missing being foals, or how to say that, like missing, for example, seeing a grown-up and their children together and being like, oh, I really wish I could go with my mom, or like it was nice when we could go to this ride and we can't do that no more because we're too big, and or stuff like that. And it seemed to pan out for them, the wish. But it was a really nice flower. It reminded me of like, as I said, Beauty and the Beast and our flower in our show. What was that? Yeah, Wolf's Rain. That's right. A magical flower from Wolf's Rain. So, but it was a good thing it didn't do the same things as that flower does, because like then they would have been in real trouble. But yeah, I think it was an okay episode. Yeah, and Floofy was really cute. Next. Yay. What's next? No. I'm still going, or what?
I mean, I guess no one else wants to go. Like, I think I sort of agree with Dave. Like, I don't hate this episode. I think it's just, honestly, it's sort of a middle of the road like CMC episode where I don't find it like the lesson I find is annoying, but in terms of like the pacing and a lot of the character moments, I find it enjoyable. But I feel like the biggest issue is I feel this episode does repeat, like it does like hit you over the head with the moral like a lot. It's like, I think there's a joke like here's subtext and then there's this ain't subtext. But like overall, I do like the like I honestly like when I mean the pacing of my main issues, I feel like this honestly could have been like a Steven Universe or Star versus like 12-minute episode if we cut some of it down. It would probably fit pretty well to that, but like as 30 minutes it feels like it drags. But it's nice to see like this sort of the setup it sort of has to go off. And also it's like it is good. I feel they have actual designs for the CMC as adults. So I guess
Speaking of designs, let's talk about those designs. personally, I'm not really a fan of Scootaloo's mane because it seems too spiky.
I actually don't mind it, but
Very
like
much
I was
like Sonic.
trying to put my finger on like what it reminded me of, and it reminds me of her hairstyle in the CMC, I mean in the Equestria Girls films, where it is more spiky.
Yeah.
Because like literally right when I seen the design for the first time, I was like, where that seems so dang familiar, and I kept my finger on it. It was like oh
Spiky hairdo. Every
yeah.
anime main character ever. So like
No, just saying,
Yu-Gi-Oh and
it reminded
Or
me so.
even My Own
Ball,
Pony OC.
everything.
But yeah, it reminded me
My
more
Own
of like
Pony
design.
OC rocks that style.
I just wish it was a little fuller.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
What you wish? What was a little fuller?
Scootaloo's mane.
I think it would have worked better, like because right now the way it's set up is it's sort of a like a mohawk design, where I feel like if it was like
Yeah.
straight out more on the side, it would have like her actual like Equestria Girls like hairstyle, where it is not just like a mohawk, but like it's more wild, but spread out. That's a weird topic for an episode. Any other thoughts?
Their voices. So initially, at first I thought I didn't like it because they didn't change, but they give like subtle hints throughout the episode that it is a little bit changed. It is a little bit deeper.
That's true. Yeah, the voice acting was good. I caught that too.
I feel it ranges from like the CMC. I feel like you can tell it more with Scootaloo and Sweetie Belle. Like Apple Bloom, it's more subtle, but you can sort of tell the difference.
Am I hearing gack in the background?
Yep. It's the gag. It's going to overtake all things.
God,
Jack attack.
Surprisingly, I almost find myself at a loss for words here. I mean, I feel like this should be bigger somehow, one way or the other, but I'm just like, I mean, it really is as simple as that. Ed Valentine made a lazy formula morality beatdown episode that just, I mean, it spends the whole first act repeating itself with what you are too young. You do not know what could happen to young fella, and not even in like the interesting, identifiable sort of Miyazaki-ish way that like, holy heck, the world is a really big place. Part of coming into your own is experiencing it and being confronted with it when you didn't expect to be sometimes, and facing that certain the whole like lift up. You could get lost on a train. You could get lost in a crowd. Poor little Billy's like you do not, and they cycle through all the characters to repeat it a bunch of times, and then Twilight and Fluttershy too for good measure, and throwing up song because hey, if we didn't do that, we might have had to fill out this episode by giving it a third act or something. Like, I mean, the Crusaders. The second one is them stumbling through things. Like, oh my gosh, going on a train is a big responsibility. Like, really? Did we not do somebody to watch over me with the wandering through a swamp? That was the same thing except higher stakes and better.
Okay.
Episode about growing up, about facing that down and people not being ready to trust you yet, and just, and I mean, like, and yeah, after that first act, you think it's going to be like, okay, well, the Crusaders, they're going to have to face grown-up decisions, quote unquote, and come into their own one way or another, like maybe face down and like prove to themselves they can, but also that they're not going to take that last step into adulthood or not. Like, yes, someday, everybody does, but actually it's nice being kids for now. No, they learn a wag your finger at them.
Yeah.
Like just wandering through the fair and being irresponsible again and again and again, and they don't even get to like save the day in their own episode, or well, that ends well up here. They don't get to solve any of their own problems. They don't have to show off the way of their magic moves and encyclopedias and wag their fingers at them. The end.
Okay.
I just got done, like, last week. Heck, I wrote, like, what the charge stuff like that. Also said, like, it was kind of fun to pull back, like, okay, if episodes just kind of lead me to whatever sort of, like, some entertainment that passes the time, like some cool things. Overall, just kind of a whatever stupidly written episode. Okay, cool. Bad rating. I can give a meh rating. Like, I don't need to say that everything is the worst, but, like, Valentine, he somehow him and Neil DeSantis somehow managed to be those guys who where to draw the line. This episode, there's no value in it. There's really not anything about the formula he gives you nothing you didn't have before. He gives you an whirling dervish thing. I guess it's, in that sense, it's less repetitive. There's a little more, like, moment-to-moment fun than Cart Before the Ponies, but Cart Before the Ponies didn't take 9 seasons worth of development and put it into a ball and say, whatever, let's have them learn dumb kids who haven't learned lesson 1 about how not to be dumb kids. Really sucks note to go out on. I did not give thumbs down to their last season.
I'm just gonna go on and say, like,
very small, like, okay, well, I can see why people would want to watch it, so I guess I'm sort of saying watch it, even though I think it fails to be any kind of real payoff. This one, like, if it was completely gone and there were only 5 episodes, I think we would have lost nothing. Thumbs down. My first thumbs down was season 9. I thought season 9 was at least one that knew how to, ones that knew how to at least get the job done every time, even if they weren't, like, swinging for the fence every time. How do you undo that? You invite Ed Valentine back.
So, while I respect the amount of passion Second has done, to deconstruct this episode into a new one, like, possibly even more than, like this episode didn't have as much to offer as last week's episode in which deconstruction occurred. For me, this episode has left me sullen, and it's like, so what's the payoff of all this? This is really a nothing episode for the CMC. Like, my God, I just wanted like something interesting to happen, like a look into the future of the CMC. But no, instead we just get this fan fiction-y, like, oh look, we're all grown-up CMCs with our full minds, and I'm like, oh my God, the implications of the fan art. I'm not going to be okay with any of this. I'm not going to be okay with any of this fan art.
It's too late, Gator.
I know it's too late.
Like, they already did it to them when they're folds. Just imagine what they're going to do to them now.
It's literally the worst. Literally worse. And I'm just like, this episode just brings up nothing. Like, I can't even get, like, impassionately angry because there's, like, nothing to get upset about. It's just like the only thing. It's just only, like, something I'm like, okay, teenage ponies are, like, did not know how mature they were being with, like, trying to take care of, like, the Twister dog. But, yeah. I guess now they're treating like they're, I guess now they're being like, okay, we now know key things in order to make us ourselves responsible and such. But that's really it.
Just to jump off that, like, I read the synopsis for this a while ago, and from what I originally thought this episode, I thought they were just going to time travel into the future, sort of thing, or something like that. And
nice.
Yeah, I think that would have more. That was sort of an interesting plot, like time travel, or like they time travel, sort of like a 13 going on 30. I think there was a movie called.
Yeah.
Where, like, you get put in your body of yourself as an adult, and I thought that was what the situation was going to be, which I felt had more potential to be interesting. Here it just feels like it's checking off okay, we have to go through this. You have to check off this syndicated series like checklist like of things, like you have to do the children characters grow up or become adults episode. And again, I don't mind. I think the biggest issue for me in this episode is this feels so much like it's just sort of a throwaway sort of filler plot of like a 12 or 13 episode of like a Steven Universe or Starverses, where it's just like here's a fun little like thing to do, but they stretch it out over 30 minutes, which just sort of makes it man, like
Steven Universe does episodes like that. It always, except in the Onion episodes, which just kind of creeped me out. But yeah, it just about always still manages to like bring up something relatable and lovable and show you its like mastery of characterization. What did this didn't even come close to that. It did every discount storybook, like not actual characters, just mouthpieces for morals and kind of.
I do think like there's something relatable with this, because like when you're younger you wish you were older, and when you're older you wish you were younger. But yeah, I see what you're saying.
How about this? Tell me one line any character said in this episode.
Sure.
Let's start there. If you can pass that one, I got a couple more for you.
There, Floofy.
Not gonna, yeah. Hey, I kind of remember them. They were the new characters. Rarity said things in a Rarity way. Oh, wait. I know. Applejack said hers with Applejack attitude. Don't even think about going by yourself. Let's see. Have we gotten to anything the Crusaders said remotely different from one another yet?
It was a little hammered in. But...
Holy disappointment, Batman.
Yay. Use the shark repellent.
All right, let's talk about those OC designs.
I think
if there was ever a moment where it felt like the animators just took some fan OC designs and shoved them into the show, it would be this moment.
I don't think so. I've seen
they were such a fucking eyesore. For God
a lot
damn it
out there.
Honestly, they just seemed to me like
I think they're
visually not remarkable. What did you think they'd look like when they grew up? I mean,
and they look like themselves, so I don't think like it's that bad.
Okay, but what do you mean by like eyesore?
The red and the brown ponies.
Oh, those two.
Those two.
Well, we all
like
have
that shade of red is just terrible for a base color.
Oh, what am I to say? I'm lime green that glows in the dark, so.
And I think the brown is like too saturated.
And we had a episode where they're like pastel colors, right? Where they had to get colors back to the town. And there were some of those ponies that was more eyesore than these ones. At least you can, look at these ponies without being like, oh my God, it's hurting my eyes.
I mean, that it's in a way where like it stands out too much.
Oh, okay, you think so? I think they're nice.
Like if you look at the CMC's designs, they kind of blend in with everything. When you look at these two designs, they just don't go well with anything.
Oh Lord, I hate how this episode can't load.
It's also going to be the only time we're going to see them. So,
just like as soon as I saw them, I thought we were doing another Make-A-Wish moment.
Well, if we're doing that, that's really nice.
Well, yeah, it is, but like, if it turns out that it wasn't, then it was just a stupid decision by the animators.
I mean, I just kind of considered them forgettable designs, but looking at them, I mean, More so with the brown pony, but yeah, I can kind of
Yeah.
see what you mean. It looks like, okay, let's create a unique character and like playing what
And
Matt
also I
designed,
think
brown body, freckles,
Who
cozy glow hair and
Who-
tail.
who
Like
thought that a
neckers,
red coat would go well with blue hair?
red and blue. Those colors are slapped together all the time. Like that one, I see the other one more so than I see your point on that one.
yeah, me
The
too.
brown and the light blue goes better because you see that color combination all the time. Red and blue is just they're opposite colors, you know?
Yeah, well, they're kind of paired together for like, what do you call that? Like,
They're paired
Contrast.
together to contrast with each other,
Yeah,
not to
contrast.
go with each
yeah,
other.
to give like a.
Mhm.
I mean, well, they muted it this time for him. I mean, like a red and blue OC. That's something more. I guess maybe more like a Rainbow Dashy character, like somebody who you're supposed to feel power from, something like that.
Maybe. That's terrible, Ninja. I'm sorry.
What's terrible?
He sent a photo of something. Of it.
You die.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the whole blooming thing kind of reminded me of like a Power Rangers like Lost Galaxy about Sakina.
Mm.
If you get the reference about like a cocoons and stuff, or in Phantom, and
A little bit.
that little special about the undergrowth.
Actually something that could be interesting if like they wished for being grown-ups, but the flower was not specific, so they become like elderly.
I've seen that too.
Elderly.
I've seen that in Dexter's Lab.
Well,
Actually,
one
I
of them
think-
said, I think it was Sweetville that said, "I wish we were as old as our sisters."
Yeah, that's
So that
true.
beats that.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, I think that's actually the Power Ranger episode he was talking about, where there's like in the Space Power Rangers, there's like two of the sort of like antagonist teen figures, or their youth is drained out and they become like elderly, like 60 or 70-year-olds. And the whole joke about that is like, oh no, this sucks, but then we realize like, wait a second, we're old enough to do whatever we want and get elderly discounts, and they're like so happy about it, which is hilarious.
That is
Oh
pretty
my
funny,
god!
actually.
Yeah. Oh wait, was it both in school who got affected?
No, it was like a boy and girl like duo.
Oh, is that Dino Thunder or whatever?
No, it was like it was a
Dino?
space one. It was like when they had a space station.
I mean, like a boy and a girl one in a space station. I mean, there's Lost Galaxy. There's.
I think it was Lost Galaxy.
Yeah, a boy and girl. Like, I mean, only Bulk was there. No Skull, and Bulk was with like a Professor Phenomenus.
And they were in like 3 episodes.
No, I mean like they weren't the Bulk and Skull like but they were like the teen girl, like one of them was a boy, but like like sort of like they caused like these social issues with like the teenager side of the Power Rangers. They weren't really antagonists, but they were sort of like jerks. I forget their role, but yeah, I just remember that because it was like this sort of like, we're old, wait a second, we get elderly discounts in order to go to a movie theater.
It's a
It's a good joke. It's a very good joke. More than like, but yeah, this episode ranks very much like on the boring, like it's like so bad that like I don't get any enjoyment. It's like what would Jello Apocalypse would say a 0 episode. Not really giving me much of anything.
I mean, as I was like starting to say, okay, I guess another whatever episode, then like when I realized, I was like thinking like, okay, well, have I maybe started getting too soft on those? Like, am I just letting every episode that doesn't make me furious get away with a teeny tiny thumbs up? And then I was like comparing this to all the other episodes like that this season, and I'm like, you know what? All of those at least had one thing that I could get behind, that there was something there to enjoy, to appreciate. I mean, you could see how somebody who says they flat out liked it you could see why they would have said that. Like, oh, what? I was hard on Sweet and Smoky, but I mean, yeah, Garble the Beatnik poet, that is the angle they were doing it. That's unique. That's amusing. Or last week's episode, like, is deliberately dumb as it was, much like this one. I mean, yeah, where Fluttershy starts befriending the hench ponies and forming this, team up, this a lot like that. You get behind that there's nothing in this one. There really isn't. Just, it's formula. It's falling back on this formula and having everybody repeat themselves as mouthpieces to this really condescending moral. Just, I mean, it's like, just after all the ones I let sort of get away with one, it's like, I'm almost trying to convince myself now that I really did find the one, but yeah, kind of, sort of. I think I did. This is the one.
I thought I was your one. Balanchi.
Yes, you are my one. The one is the opposite of a good thing. The one that sticky.
Oh, okay. Well, I still think like there's worse episodes than this, but yeah.
There are, but I mean, like, one of the things season 9 actually had going for it for me was that I really wasn't giving any thumbs down. It was just like, okay, well, it knows how to make harmlessly weak episodes that basically pass the time at very worst. Like, and then Ed Valentine said, hold my, whatever.
Hold my pencil.
Hold my cafeteria milk. Shit.
Well, at least it's not as bad as Jackie the Sax.
Yeah, that's the bar you're settling for.
Well, yeah.
No, I mean, like, as a writer.
I don't know who wrote it, but...
The Cart Before the Ponies, Gabby the Griffin, Three's a Crowd guy. Has he made anything, like, that good besides
that you like?
Scootaloo's Flight to the Finish episode? I mean, even that one, honestly, he was kind of, like, repeating himself, coasting on repeating the moral of, Scootaloo says, I've better try 10 times as hard, 20 times as hard. It's just he happened to have a moral there that was, like, so inherently powerful, you almost, like, can't write it unless you give it a proper 3-act structure with all kinds of, like, heartfelt, self-affirmation and friend affirmation and all that. Like, everything he's done since then has been this by-the-numbers, like, fan service fests, at best fan service fests. Okay, I'm picking on one guy a lot, I realize.
It's okay.
Back off that a little bit, but I mean, jeez. Okay, so in conclusion, I didn't like it.
Oh, you don't say. Yeah, I think it was okay. And Fluffy was cute.
Yeah, great. Make an episode about Luffy.
Yay! Luffy the tornado dog.
Yeah, what did Fluttershy say he was?
Something I don't remember, but it was important that the owner, the one that took care of him or her.
Yeah, I remember that part.
That's
the
it.
owner had to calm it down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I forget what. I think it was a twisty. But it was like the Mandarin, or it was like whatever type of dog you said it was. That is part of what its name is.
Twisty stuff.
I said Maltese, although.
Yeah, Maltese. I
Yeah,
think that's what it is.
it's
Is
like
Maltese, like a
Maltese.
twisty Maltese.
Purple Maltese. Sounds cute.
Let me see. Do.
Or it actually looks like you have something called a Scottish dog over here, like that also have long hair, but it doesn't look like that. I'm just reminded of it for some odd reason.
Yeah, it's a whirling Maltese.
Oh, whirling Maltese. Okay. Well, at least they didn't do a Sharknado joke, even though that was right up there.
Tornado.
Yeah, Dognado. That's true.
Someone cue the Squidward laugh.
Yeah, I actually a long time ago did a pink NATO with Pinkie Pies in it
Ugh.
on my DVD. So.
Well, yeah, going back to that though, it was like, yeah, like I said earlier, they sort of forgot to ask Pinkie Pie. It's like they're asking everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like maybe it's because like, yeah, they know they shouldn't be asking her. She's a little too much when she takes care of people.
Oh, hey, we passed the 22-minute mark. Yeah, we said the moral just enough times. Oh, good. That means I can cut out the Pinkie Pie repetition scene.
Or heck, if you could have, if they want to do a last minute funny joke, they could have had like Pinkie Pie just show. It was like at the fair, it's like, oh, you need a shepherd nose coming your whole time.
Yeah.
Or
That would have been funny.
That's funny. Yeah. Actually, thinking about it is a wonderful thing.
But I guess, any other final thoughts on the episode?
I didn't really care for it too much. I just wanted the CMC designs.
Aww.
About it.
The next one's better.
Yeah, let's hope that.
The last Slice of Life episode.
Yeah.
Alright, like I was saying, like, overall I didn't hate this episode, but I would say it's probably a C, no, I would say C minus for me. Animation wise, like though, I like the one thing I did get. There's a lot of like fun animations and like just designs and all that within this episode. So that's what's propping up like a C minus or a C plus. It's not C plus, a C or C minus. But yeah, overall, like besides it, just sort of a very fillery episode. Like I said, this feels like it was a 12-minute episode idea. Then they're like, oh crud, we have to pad it out for 22 minutes.
But, you know what? Yeah, filler is a good title this time.
But with that said, I guess see y'all next week for like Carla said, the last Slice of Life episode.
Yeah.
Yay!
One last time.
So nice. Bye-bye, all.
Bye.
Have a good
So
time.
long, farewell, Avita, say goodnight.
Okay, just watch the episode. Well, it was a good moral, all about growing up too fast. It was interesting seeing the Cutie Mark Crusaders as grown ponies, which I already know for a fact there was art already existing of the Crusaders grown up before then. I have a really big feeling that I think somebody from a certain studio saw some of this art and they're like, you know what, let's put it in. But that's just an opinion. Anyway, pretty good episode. It showed how it showed the Crusaders like kind of getting what they want and how it could backfire on them, which ultimately proves that yeah, they really do have some growing up to do. The only thing that kind of pissed me off was that Scootaloo's wings still didn't grow, even as a grown-up. Scootaloo is doomed to have tiny wings. That just seemed a little sad for me, but oh well. I guess to keep in keep it in character, but still, it would have been such a rush to have Scootaloo have like full-size wings and she could fly, and oh my goodness. But then again, if that ever happened, I think we'd never see Scootaloo again. She'd be just spending the rest of the episode just flying everywhere and such. But still, it would have been fun. But overall, good episode, good moral, just good all the way around, and glad to see the Crusaders together, and glad that there is a song. I dare say, I think this one may be just as good as Hearts as Strong as Horses, maybe, which is a pretty big stretch considering in this season. But overall, good episode.
Yay, Kim Cartoon.
This React brought to you by...
Treehouse. Yay! Let's go to the fair. Oh.
CMCs get one more chance here. Put on a stick.
They're going to a carnival second. Do you remember us going to Tivoli?
Aye. Yeah, well, I mean, we have Kennywood over here, so...
Yeah, that's true.
Still have to...
They're going to BronyCon.
Yeah, they going to BronyCon. That's a little late. Ooh, chaperone. Aw, cute.
They didn't ask a chaperone.
Oh, they didn't?
A
Oh,
conflict, everybody!
yay!
Wow, wow, wow.
Well, it can happen for everybody.
Oh, look how she just kicked it.
Seems like normal, everyday stuff. Problem. And it's probably going to go out of Ray for that.
No, I just realized this. This means we're never going to get another Rainbow Dash Wonderbolt episode.
Aww.
Yeah.
We're never actually going to see her do anything with the Wonderbolts.
Damn it.
I think you haven't made peace with that by now. I think they...
Fan animators, you know what to do. Okay. Yeah, the golden suit, it's nice rarity.
Oh dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Oh dear, what can the matter be? Ponies can't go to the fair.
Yay! Aw. No. You're too small. Mm-mm. Oh, well, we get a little Wonderbolt action here.
I wonder if we're going to cycle through, who's next? Applejack, before we get on with this.
Of course. But sometimes, people are busy and doing more important stuff.
Hello, Theme.
Yay!
Are the Saints too young? Or are they on the cusp of adulthood?
I just realized that she probably could ask her aunts.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, Big Meg is sick. Oh. Almost like second. He also been sick. Oh. Aw. Oh, poor Big Meg. I feel for him.
Don't make me do Some Pony to Watch Over Me again. Everybody hated that episode.
Oh, I like that episode.
I actually consider that one a guilty pleasure, but...
Yeah, it's a guilty
It's
pleasure.
back.
Oh, Fluttershy, okay. They're getting desperate now. What about asking Pinky?
Oh no, it's not contrived that absolutely none of them whatsoever do any of this.
Ooh, flower.
All of them, so how could it?
A second. It's going to be okay.
Oh my god, that face!
Oh, the face. The pouty face.
Oh, man.
Oh. How
Yeah,
can you say no to that face?
did this, and then Ed Valentine said,
this
a la
guy.
cart before the ponies 2.0.
Yes. It can get better.
Fair.
Are we just gonna forget about Pinkie Pie?
Yeah, I think like she's busy making cakes or something. Who knows? Oh,
So Beauty and the Beast.
it's cool. It reminds me of a flower from our show. No, like the rose from Beauty and the Beast. But
Yeah.
yeah.
What's everybody's timestamp?
Oh.
5:05. I mean 5:08.
5:10.
Okay, yeah, I'm a little behind, and now my thing will not stop stopping. Like, holy glitches, this is annoying.
You want us to stop?
10 seconds behind. Yeah, I got it.
Dang.
Okay.
All right, everyone stop and go back to 5.
5.
Stupid piece of technology. Stop freezing for no reason. Done this 100,000 times, and
I guess 5 and let me see. There's actually a big decent gap here. 5 right when the door is opening.
Yep, right on the door. Don't get smacked by the door in the face. Well, I think like this can actually be a good moral if they handle it right.
well, I mean, it's the Crusaders' coming of age moment, isn't it? Like, hey, we are.
Probably.
Okay, but what timestamp?
5.
5.
5 flat.
5.
What is with this thing? It keeps freezing.
Did you download it or are you streaming it?
Streaming it. But I mean,
Yeah.
I do this every time. It doesn't do this.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's Google Drive for you.
Yeah, I always like both download it and stream it for it. So I have both if anything goes wrong. Has Scootaloo's face in the background. She's just like, ooh, I'm not going to the fair, am I?
Okay, great. So,
Technical difficulties, everybody.
please stand by.
Hi.
Alright, ready when you are, I hope.
Okay.
Good.
Yay.
All right, everyone press play and is everyone ready?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, press play in 3, 2, 1, play.
Yay. Going out the door. Okay. Going to the secret flowers. That's a good idea.
Also, I just want to bring. How is she supposed to save the flower after it's already been plucked?
Maybe it is like the flower from Beauty and the Beast. Who knows?
Wait, what was the question?
How she was going to save the flower when it was plucked, but it's a magical flower like Beauty and the Beast, so we don't know.
Oh my god. Here it comes.
Dun, dun, dun. And then the Deus Ex Machina said...
Yeah, grow up.
A plot
Oh my
device.
god.
2 seconds.
It's happening.
Yay!
It's happening.
You're becoming grown-ups.
I just imagine like the Dark Souls you died thing just popped up.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Dun,
god.
dun, dun.
This is even better than I thought. This is not a what if scenario. Actual mirror versions of the CMC. Wait.
In the show.
Well, okay.
Oh, and... body defiling magic and all that.
Oh,
Yes.
second, don't start on that. No.
Oh my god, the fandom is going to have a freak out of this of gigantic proportions. For like those who haven't seen this episode already.
It's so weird because all their designs have been updated except for like Apple Bloom, who just looks bigger.
Mm,
Oh god.
yeah.
Sort of, yeah.
This is really like
Oh,
fanfiction gone wild and real.
Oh, she looks a little different with her mane, I think.
Their voices are the same though.
Yeah. But I
don't
guess.
know.
Yeah.
They're still gonna face the same problems.
Safe.
That
Just
was
that they're
nice.
physically mature, not mentally.
Ooh.
Okay, maybe it's a little bit deeper now.
Wow, Michelle, you definitely are going for like the deeper voice.
Really?
Oh, okay
Oh,
then.
song.
Song.
Yay! Oh, not
This is like a
quite,
college,
sure.
a college student metaphor, isn't it?
I don't know. That line makes me nervous. Like,
Yeah.
remember the last time Ed Valentine resorted to? Well, no, the last time he resorted to a song was,
Oh, cute.
Gabby the Griffin.
Oh god, I feel weird thinking about wearing
But
the
I mean,
same type of eyeliner like when you're 8. Is that equestrian Earth?
Oh my god, they're big universal ponies.
Is this just an extended setup, though, so the episode can
Oh
be...
god.
But wait, being big is not all it takes!
Oh, of course, but yeah, it's nice. It's cute. Ah. No, I think I'll be good and stay on the ground. Let Sagan go in the roller coasters, please. Oh, that's interesting. Meta.
And that's how we made our autobiographical film.
That was really meta, yeah. Oh, okay.
Abolish schooling, people.
No.
And I can't believe they focus on twists.
Is it?
Oh, it's cute.
Like insulting
I
your past.
see the flowers.
Because we're actually physically more mature than you. That's the biggest plot twist.
Yay. Okay.
We got the high five down now.
And they got off at the wrong tracing.
Yay. Because even grown-ups can go the wrong way and go with the wrong train. Oh. Hello.
They haven't
Guess
known about
who?
Creepy old pony, right?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What?
Called it.
Is he just in charge of all the creepy stops?
Yeah, probably. He reminds me of the creepy guy from the Matrix in the train. No. Can you please point me in a direction where there's a path that doesn't go into strange, mysterious stuff? Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, their voice is definitely a little bit deeper now.
Yeah, a little bit.
Which actually is probably just the voice actresses being more themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Really helpful.
Okay.
It's almost like we've done this plot before.
Okay. And then Taylor. Okay. Going on the road. Okay.
Looks like the right choice.
What's this? Ooh. Okay. Well,
Okay, you could have just hopped the other direction.
Okay. Apple Bloom is getting tangled.
Wah, wah, wah.
I'm singing in the.
And there goes a map.
Okay. Oh, Scoolaloo survived that. Okay.
The Crusaders are too young to take the train and follow a map.
Yeah. Well, even
They
grown.
don't know how hard it is being an adult.
Oh. Oh no, all of the fan
You're into
art
really
that's going
weird
to
stuff,
come off
Kate.
that. Ooh. Okay. Hello, new characters. You're not swamp ponies.
Yes, the swamp ponies go humph.
Mm-hmm. Biscuit. Okay. Fluffy. Mm. Hmm. Yeah, you should listen to every grown-up that you meet. Sure.
And you should establish out loud that you're doing it because they are grown-ups.
Mm-hmm.
See, we just thought we'd remind you there that we're grown-ups.
I don't know. Taking advantage of children is a very adult thing to do. Dun 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 dun.
Ooh. That was dark, Ninja.
Have we established that enough times?
Yeah. Okay.
I think what you mean is, what about when something goes wrong?
Yeah. And why you're asking three strange grown-ups and not your parents? Or maybe that wasn't their parents going first? Who knows? Oh, troubleshoots. Cute.
Oh gosh, her little wings.
Yeah. Still have small wings when she grows up. Aw. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know I normally hate the, well, this is like their season 1
Yay.
versions, but isn't it though? I mean, like,
I
if
don't know.
anyone had a point of being
Aw.
less mature earlier in the series, it was the Crusaders. And on their last episode, we're doing the whole, oh, they don't get that they're not old enough. They don't understand responsibilities. That half their episodes to date have been about them learning at a level above and beyond this. What am I watching? I'm sorry.
You're watching Scootaloo eat chicken. That's what you're watching.
But they're vegetarians, aren't they?
Well, it was fried chicken, I think. Maybe. Or fried carrot that looked like a chicken. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Let's see it.
What the heck?
Oh!
It's
How
a
cute.
purple Maltese.
Oh, Maltese, yeah. Purple Maltese. Oh.
These are just bad
Then
advice.
I guess it's going to spawn into a ferocious monster and eat everybody. Yeah.
Now let's see what can go wrong.
Aw, it's doing good.
You know, it would be a little bit more impressive if it was actually a really large crowd, but it's not.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I stand corrected. She will turn into a tornado and kill everybody.
Don't you hate when your Maltese turns out to be a tornado?
Yeah. Almost like your dog singing. Oh!
Oh gosh!
Gosh.
The Wizard of Oz reference.
Wizard of Oz, yeah. And the sheep is still in the, the blue sheep. Okay, and a cow from the tornado. Ooh, a tree. Sure, that's a good idea.
Alright, step 1. Can the Crusaders step up and solve this problem?
Okay. Oh, teleportation. Ah, okay.
Okay, so that was all pointless. Haven't they taken care of pets before?
Okay. How did you know Fluttershy? Oh, okay. Yeah, we kind of already know.
Yeah.
Is this episode 22 minutes yet? We sure? I could
Maybe.
repeat that one more time if you need. Should I say the moral a few more times? That there's a lot of responsibility that goes into being grown-ups. 22 minutes. Let me draw out that last syllable enough. Grown-ups.
Okay. No, that's Spurt, yeah. Oh, okay. Oh, saving the small blue sheep.
Oh gosh, that sheep is so cute.
Yeah. Cool. Later.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I was gonna say anything, but okay, if this is really all there is to it, if this is how we're ending, this episode is almost like stunningly, like, feels stunningly short on top of everything else. Like, it really didn't have a third act. It was just the Crusaders, first act transform, and then they stumble around for a while, and then Fluttershy and Twilight show up and fix everything. This is the part where we say the moral now. Let's rephrase it a few different times. This does have to be 22 minutes after all.
I can't believe you guys wasted a wish on this incredible, powerful flower.
Shit.
And now you cost us millions of bits.
Shit.
His smug face.
Oh, it's funny because they're teenagers and they are super enraged on the inside because of this.
It was good though. Ah, okay. Yeah, and when you first have been grown up, you will miss being a child, so.
Yeah.
You order more episodes. That's the only way it's gonna happen.